Hello, it's Dr. Bettina here from Nip in the Bud. Today we're talking about sibling rivalry and encouraging healthy sibling relationships. We've got the summer period coming up. Parents are going to be together with their children. So here are 5 top tips for managing sibling conflict and building healthy relationships. Number 1, I think the first thing you have to do is to shift your expectations. We all want our kids to be friends and have this lovely lifelong friendship. But the truth is that they're going to have difficult feelings about each other. They're also going to have loving and caring feelings, but there's likely to be jealousy and conflict. It's just part of being a sibling. So the first tip is to shift your expectation to think it's going to happen. They're going to have some conflict and be jealous of each other at some point. And then when that happens, not only are you able to tolerate your own feelings a little bit more, but you'll be able to tolerate their feelings a bit more. Remember, kids are going to have difficult feelings. We can't change their feelings. We can sustain them through their feelings and help them to learn to manage them and regulate emotions a bit better. So number 2, I would be very careful in focusing on fairness. Of course, we're always trying to be as fair as we can with our kids, but the truth is that children have different needs. And one child may need something at one point in time, and another child may need a bit more of you at another time. It's just to do with how our brains are wired. So if you might have a child, let's say you have one child who was just born more able to regulate their feelings, let's say, and another child who really struggles has very big emotions and big kind of emotional breakdowns. Now, those kids are going to need you in different ways over the summer period. And I think we have to acknowledge that. We can talk compassionately about it. To the first child who's more able to regulate their feelings, you can say to them, I know that I'm having to spend a lot of time with your brother right now as he's learning to cope with these big feelings. And then, say to them, let's make sure that we have some time too. So you can acknowledge it. But don't try to kind of make sure you give each child exactly the same thing. It's just the same thing as if you have a child who struggles to learn to read, you're going to have to spend more time teaching them to learn to read. It's the same idea. So number 3, it's very important that you step in when there is danger. Your first role as a parent is to keep your children safe. So if one is hurting the other, either with their hands or with their words, then it's very important that you step in and hold a kind but firm boundary and a clear signal that it's not okay. Now, try to make sure that you don't lose it in those moments or start shaming or blaming anybody. But I would just separate in that moment. Just go, we need to be in different rooms right now. It's not okay to hurt each other. Wait while emotions calm down a little bit, because nobody is able to talk rationally when they're in their emotional brain. And then later come back and talk about it. And it's important that you do come back and talk about it and help them to have a different story about it and to understand what's gone on. So we always want to help kids to understand what's gone on inside them. So then you might run through and say, I could see that your sister took your toy and I think you felt really angry. And then I think what you did was you hit. And so you're giving them that story. That's what happened. And then you say, we need to work on taking each other's toys and asking, and we can't stop ourselves from feeling angry, but we can manage our anger differently. And what else could you do next time? So stepping in when they're danger and helping them to understand exactly what happened so they can do something different next time is important. Number 4, try to have one-to-one time with each child. Now, if I were a prescribing doctor, which I'm not, I would prescribe this to all families. Now, it doesn't have to be a long time, 10 or 15 minutes a day with each child, where it's just you and them, can be really transformational. The important thing is that it's very consistent and that you treat it with care. So you make sure that there are no phones, that you don't go in with an agenda. It's a spotlight on them. And maybe, it's something that's led by them. And what it communicates to them is that they are safe and that you are very important to them. So I know that, everybody is challenged, but if it's at all possible to do that, it can really make a big difference. And then the 5th thing I would say is try to curate times when the siblings can have fun together. Now, don't expect this to just happen. I wouldn't just have a clear day and put them in a room and shut the door, particularly if there's conflict between them. You need to be a little bit strategic about it. Set up an activity, preferably one that they both enjoy, and try to be well rested and have resources yourself so that you can be available to scaffold and to step in and to help when things go wrong. So they might need a little bit of help in connecting and having fun times together. But the research is very clear that actually if siblings do have these good, fun, connected times together, it really bodes well for their long-term relationships. And if I could just sneak in one more thing, if you do have the chance over the holidays to go and see the film Inside Out, it's a kind of Pixar Disney film. It's just so great for giving you a way of talking about emotions and building kids' emotional literacy. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a lovely holiday if it's holiday time for you, and look forward to seeing you next time. Please do let us know if you have any questions. We're here to help wherever we can.